Hello everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I'm Kim.
And we are back to uncover the truth about dreams. That's right, what do dreams mean and what are some of the facts and some of the myths about dreams? Now remember yesterday we were talking about your dream about being chased. I had a dream about losing things and you know what these dreams might mean. Sometimes I read those stories, you might see them in a magazine or online about what the dreams mean.
Yes,
you know?
They're always very interesting.
If you're nervous, you have this, or if you're worried, you have that. But there's one dream people often have or they write about. I've never had that dream. Flying.
Oh, I love flying dreams.
It's a common thing that people have, but I've never had a flying dream that I can remember. I think it would be so cool.
It would be really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd like to be able to fly to different places because I like flying. I like to look out the window of the airplane, being a bird. I think it would be great, but I've never had a dream like that.
That's a really good dream.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how to do it. Is there a dream that you've always wanted to have, but have never managed to find a way to do?
I think I want to have those dreams where you have a lot of money and you can just do whatever you want.
Or you're famous and everyone knows you and loves you. It's
That's
like
a nice escape.
Star. That would be kind of cool. I wonder if that and a flying dream are similar.
I think they are. Or I would like to have those dreams that you can control.
Ooh, that would be
I've
good.
never been able to control my dream. I never realized that I'm dreaming.
There is kind of a way that people say you can do that, right? And I think one of the things you can start to do is journal, write your dream down.
Yes, as we saw before.
Talked about yesterday. Anyway, so we're going to be learning many more interesting facts about dreams as we uncover the truth about dreams in day 2.
You see it all the time in movies. Someone has a dream that appears to predict the future. But could it actually happen? Let's find out. Myth or fact? Abraham Lincoln dreamt about his own death right before it happened. Myth. This famous story about the American president was started by his bodyguard. Although this story has been around for over 100 years, the details of the story often changed. This proved that the bodyguard was lying.
All right, so yes, part 2 of uncovering the truth about dreams. Remember, we're looking at some myths and some facts, some things that are not true and some things that are true about dreams. Let's look at our article for today, which begins, you see it all the time in movies. Someone has a dream that appears to predict the future. Oh, yes, they do this in movies and other types of stories, right? The hero, the character will lie down and have a dream and then wake up and suddenly they know the answers or they know what's going to happen. They have this dream that predicts, that tells them what will happen in the future. But the article asks, could it actually happen? Let's find out, right? Do dreams that predict the future actually happen in real life, or is it really just something from a story? Myth or fact? Abraham Lincoln dreamt about his own death right before it happened.
Ooh.
Wow, that sounds like an interesting thing from history. Abraham Lincoln, of course, the famous American president, was shot by someone right at the end, after the end of the Civil War in a theater. It was a very famous event. Did he actually dream about this happening maybe a night or two before he was actually killed?
Well, as we see, this is a myth.
Oh, it's not true.
No, sorry. This famous story about the American president was started by his bodyguard.
Really?
Although this story has been around for over 100 years, the details of the story often changed. This proved that the bodyguard was lying.
He was just trying to become famous on Instagram or Twitter.
In the 1800s?
They didn't have Twitter, but he was just trying to become famous, probably. It was a big, terrible, sad event, right? So they probably asked him questions in the newspaper, and he made up some story. But of course, he couldn't prove, no one, I guess, could really prove that it happened. Abraham Lincoln, unfortunately, was dead. They couldn't ask him. When you prove something, this verb means you show that it is true. You don't just say that it's true. You have evidence, you have facts, you have pictures. Someone else saw it as the same as you, or something like that. Of course, when people are trying to catch a criminal, they have to prove that this person did the crime. We have a picture of him on camera. There are fingerprints. We found the money that he stole in his apartment, or something like that. That proves, that shows with facts and information that something is true. For example, the police could not prove that Randy took the money. They think he took the money.
But
he did buy a brand new Ferrari, but they can't prove that he stole the money from somewhere.
He earned that Ferrari money, okay?
He just found it.
On the street somewhere.
He found $1 million.
Oh, wish that would happen to me.
Yeah, that happens all the time? No. Let's take a break, and then we'll be back with more myths and facts about dreams.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们在第一天的课程了解到，记住梦不代表睡眠品质好哦。另外，对声音比较敏感的人，往往会记住他们自己做的梦。那接着我们就来看看到底人会不会做预知梦。在电影里面，我们常常会看到这种状况，就是有人做了一个似乎能够预测未来的梦。那这是有可能的吗？据说，像美国总统林肯，他在死之前有梦到自己会死掉，但这其实是一个迷思哦。这个故事是来自林肯总统的保镖。那故事流传了100多年，故事的细节却常常在改变，这就证明保镖在说谎。好，单字 prove 是当动词来用，它就表示证明、证实。那这个段落有2个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，来看第一个重点是 all the time， 它表示一直怎么样，总是怎么样。像我们可以说 Ron is late all the time，Ron 老是迟到。好，那么第二个重点是 appear to 加上原形动词，它可以表达似乎怎么样。appear 在这边就是似乎好像，就跟 seem 是意思一样的。举例来说 Everyone appeared to have a good time at the party。大家似乎都在派对上面玩得很开心。好，接回到课文中。
Myth or fact? Dreams about the future sometimes come true. Fact: 19 people told their friends that they dreamt about the sinking of the Titanic before it happened. It may be hard to believe, but these claims were confirmed to be true. There are also similar stories about dreams that predicted other terrible events, such as 9/11. These are just a few of the many interesting myths and facts about dreams. From the unknown factors that help us remember our dreams to unbelievable stories about predicting the future, dreams truly are mysterious.
All right, and here's an interesting one for you. Our next in our myths or facts.
Right.
Myth or fact. Dreams about the future sometimes come true.
Huh. Okay.
How often is sometimes, though?
I see. So this is kind of like the Abraham Lincoln one.
Right.
But this is just saying that sometimes people do actually dream about the future. Well, I would say that's a myth because we kind of had the same thing just before, right? Well, that was about predicting the future.
Yeah.
This is about dreams about the future. So, yeah, no, I'd say that's a myth.
Say a myth?
Yeah.
Oh, well, the article says fact.
Really?
19 people told their friends that they dreamt about the sinking of the Titanic before it happened. This was the very famous large cruise ship in 1912 that hit an iceberg and sank. So 19 people dreamed about it. It may be hard to believe, but these claims were confirmed to be true. Although a ship sinking is not really that unusual, so...
Right. I mean, if I was going on a long ship voyage, I might be worried about it and have a dream that it's going to sink. I guess it wasn't Jack. Jack didn't tell people this because he didn't make it out of the water.
I'll never
Right.
let go.
No, exactly. Well, that's...
She let go.
I don't know about that one. But plus, how do you prove that they did have this dream? They're saying they had this dream.
They might just be looking for
Or
attention.
maybe they wrote it in a letter right before they got on the boat.
Could be.
Right?
But were they on the ship or were they just in England or in America?
Yeah.
We're not really sure.
And if you're a nervous person getting on a boat or an airplane, you might have a dream that something bad would happen
Yeah,
just because
naturally.
you're nervous, right? Anyway, that's a very interesting story. I might have to look more into that. But yes, the Titanic, this isn't a dream, this is a fact. The Titanic did sink. They made a movie about it. Leonardo
It's a true
DiCaprio
story.
didn't make it, unfortunately. Sorry, I don't want to spoil the movie for you. But yes, when something sinks, it's in the water and then it's under the water. And the idea is that it might not be the place for it to be under the water. Of course, some things will sink. If you throw something heavy into the water, it will sink to the bottom. If you jump into the water, you will sink and then you will kind of rise back up to the top. But when we use this verb, we're often talking about things that shouldn't sink, like a boat, right? Boats should float on top of the water, but only if they get a hole in them or some accident happens, they get broken up in a big storm or water washes into the boat, then it will get too heavy and it will sink. It will no longer be able to float on top. It will sink below the water, and that is bad, especially if you're in the boat. For example, Tommy threw a rock into the river and it quickly sank to the bottom. Yes, sink, sank, sunk. Right?
That's a nice rhyme.
Is the past tense.
All right.
Right.
Well, these people made these claims
claim.
that they had dreamed about this before it actually happened.
Yeah.
And a claim is something that you say is true, and you have to prove that it's true. You
Right.
can't just claim any old thing.
You can say anything is true.
Well, you can make any claim you want, but
Sure.
you should probably try to prove it.
Yeah.
So in his book, the author made some claims that were hard to believe. Maybe he said the Earth was flat, or space is a projection.
Oh, okay.
These claims are quite hard to believe.
Or he ran from Taiwan to Hawaii
In 2 hours.
in 2 hours on the water.
Wow.
You can't run to Hawaii. What are you talking about? You can't prove that. That's just a claim. And we also have this verb to confirm. All right. Earlier we talked about to prove. To prove is to show something is true using facts or information. But let's say you're proving something to me and I'm like, yeah, I still don't really believe you. Can I see that picture? Can you show me where you found those facts? You know, I want to confirm it. To confirm is basically to recheck that something is true. Someone says it's true, and then I don't just go, okay, I believe you. I go, really? Show me. And then they show me their information. I look at it. All right, it's true.
You can run to Hawaii in 2 hours.
Exactly, I've confirmed it. So, you know, for example, if you're meeting your friend and you made a plan 3 days ago, right before you leave to meet your friend that day, you might call them or send, are we still meeting? Are you still going? Is this plan still happening? You are confirming, you are rechecking that something is true or something is a fact or something will happen. For example, nobody could confirm the cause of the fire. Someone said, oh, I just woke up and my house was on fire.
It was like that when I came here.
But it smells like gas. It's like, I don't know if that just happened like an accident, but we can't confirm it. All right, anyways, back to the story. It says there are also similar stories about dreams that predicted other terrible events, such as 9/11. So other times there's been something terrible. Days later, someone who was there at the time says, oh, I had a dream this would happen 2 nights before. But again, it's hard to confirm these things.
Well, does anyone have a dream about good things that happen, or is it always bad things?
That's a good point. That's a very good point. And of course, it will often be about important events.
Yes.
When people will make these claims.
So an event is any important thing that happened or any important day. It can also be just something that's going to happen. So you can have an event for your birthday,
Sure.
birthday party.
That's an event.
You can have an event where someone is coming to talk to a group of people about something. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a really big deal or a really important day. But in this case, for example, 9/11 and the Titanic sinking, these are historical events. They're really important and really well-known things that happened in history. Over the past year, many important events have happened is our example sentence, and I think we can agree that's true.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, hardly a year goes by that nothing important happens. There's many important events in every year.
That's right. And of course, the most important events that happened in a day will probably be in the news or something like that. But as you said, events happen to you all the time. It just doesn't make it on CNN. But yeah, when we talk about important events, these are things you learn about, read about in the news, learn in history class, for example. Okay, back to dreams and myths and facts. The article concludes by telling us these, the ones we've talked about, are just a few of the many interesting myths and facts about dreams. From the unknown factors that help us remember our dreams to unbelievable stories about predicting the future, dreams truly are mysterious. Sleep is mysterious.
We still don't know exactly why we sleep.
Or why we dream, or how we dream, or many things like that. So if you're a young person and you're interested in becoming a doctor, a psychologist, or something, I think sleep science is absolutely fascinating.
Very interesting indeed. So Mike, what do you think, or what do you think question, can you describe a dream that you've had? If you can't remember your dreams, what could you do to get better at remembering your dreams?
Okay. In one dream that I used to have all the time, every summer in school, I would be sitting in class, everyone would be getting ready to do a big exam or a test, and I would be going, what? We have an exam? I didn't study. I don't even have a pen. I'm not ready for this. I'm going to fail. And then the weird thing is, I would sort of say in the dream, wait, stop. It's August. It's still summer holiday. I'm not in school. And I would wake up and I remember being so happy.
Relief.
It was such a good feeling. There's 3 more weeks of holiday. And that's a dream I remember having almost every summer through high school.
Oh, that's stressful.
Yeah, but it was kind of cool because since then I've kind of learned to stop my bad dreams sometimes.
Oh.
There's always a little part of my brain that can go, wait a minute. This isn't happening. This is a dream. So it can save me a lot of, scary times.
That is really good.
There you go. Work on your dreams. Write down a dream journal. Dream journal. It can be a really good way to remember your dreams and maybe even control your dreams.
Oh.
That's another fact or myth we'll look at some other time. But until then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
好，最后一个要分辨的迷思或是事实就是，关于未来的梦啊，有时会成真。这我不太相信耶，可是课文却说它是事实。同学们应该都知道这个铁达尼号撞冰山的沉船事故嘛？就算没看过这艘邮轮的相关报道，也有看过铁达尼号那部电影吧？那课文就写到说，有19个人告诉他们的朋友，他们在铁达尼号沉没之前就梦到这件事情发生。这听起来很难让人相信，但那些说法却被证实是真的。而其他也有一些类似的预知梦，像是预测到911事件这一类可怕的事件。好，我们补充一下，邮轮的英文是 cruise ship。好，这个 cruise 是拼作 cruise，cruise ship 通常是指用于长途旅游观光的邮轮。那我们再来看4个单字 ，sink 这个动词它表示沉没，使什么沉没的意思。它的动词3态是 sink、sank、sunk。再来看 claim 当名词，它表示说法、声明、声称的意思。Kim 老师说啊，有些人声称地球是平的，有些人还说这个宇宙只是个投影而已。好，老师用到 projection 这个字 ，projectation 就表示投影、投射。再来看 confirm 这个动词，它有证实、确定、肯定的意思。那么 event 它表示事件，常常用来指特殊事件、重大事件。那刚刚 Mike 老师聊到说，他以前学生时代暑假常做的梦，他都会梦到说要考试了啊，然后自己什么都没准备。同学们也有做过类似的梦吗？醒来的时候，你会不会很庆幸这只是一场梦，可以松一口气？好，这时候我们可以用 relieved 来描述松一口气的意思，它是拼作 relieved，relieved 表示松一口气的、放心的、感到宽慰的。好，那这个段落有一个重点，我们就进入文法时间。好，我们这边来看动词 tell 的用法。 tell 就是告诉、告知的意思，那它在英文里面是很常见的动词。我们来看看它的用法哦。第一种是 tell 当授予动词，我们可以用 tell somebody something， 或者是 tell something to somebody 来表达将某件事告诉某人。举例来说 ，Don't tell anyone your secret。你也可以说 Don't tell your secret to anyone， 别把你的秘密告诉任何人哦，不要把秘密告诉大家哦。好，那么第二个用法是 tell somebody about 加上名词。举例来说 Mel told me about the history of the haunted house。 Mel 跟我说了那间鬼屋的历史。好，那么第三个用法是 tell somebody 加上 that 或者是 WH 疑问词所引导的子句，像我们可以说Can someone please tell me what happened？ 有人可以告诉我自己发生了什么事吗？我来这里，没有人跟我讲，我怎么知道啊？好了，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
You see it all the time in movies. Someone has a dream that appears to predict the future. But could it actually happen? Let's find out. Myth or fact? Abraham Lincoln dreamt about his own death right before it happened. Myth. This famous story about the American president was started by his bodyguard. Although this story has been around for over 100 years, the details of the story often changed. This proved that the bodyguard was lying. Myth or fact? Dreams about the future sometimes come true. Fact. 19 people told their friends that they dreamt about the sinking of the Titanic before it happened. It may be hard to believe, but these claims were confirmed to be true. There are also similar stories about dreams that predicted other terrible events, such as 9/11. These are just a few of the many interesting myths and facts about dreams. From the unknown factors that help us remember our dreams to unbelievable stories about predicting the future, dreams truly are mysterious.
Hi, I'm Daisy.
And I'm Brandon.
We're going to play word drop today. So we each have 3 cards with your vocab words on them, and we're going to work these into a casual conversation. We have not seen these cards yet, so let's get going.
You want me to start?
Yes.
All right, we'll start. I love going to concerts, music concerts. I love seeing them. I love being part of that group. I love being at big events.
Events. Okay. With concerts, I find that I actually prefer to listen to music at home because I don't like being in groups. Like for concerts, if I wanted to hear the song, I prefer to listen to it by myself. I actually do that all the time. I just sit at home and listen to music by myself. I do that all the time.
I listen to music constantly. I'm always listening to music just every day, all the time. My friends are always like, why do you listen to music so much? And I feel like I have to prove to them why I love music.
You feel like you have to prove to them why you like music?
Yeah.
It's like you're floating on the ocean, and they're like an anchor, and they're trying to drag your boat down, like trying to make you sink, like explain to us why you like listening to music, and you're like, just let me float here and enjoy myself. I don't want to sink. I don't want to sink. And it's exactly right. I feel like if they're my friends, can't they just like confirm they're my friend and just move on with it? I don't want to have to go through all that. Mm-hmm. Shouldn't. Because if they claim they're your friend, it should be obvious. They should just be there for you, right?
You'd think.
That claim.
See you next time.